I think that this is such a perfect start to a series too. Number one, with it being Recharge, a map that everyone's familiar with, but then also it being Oddball. I always love seeing Oddball game one because it kind of gives both sides a little bit of time to warm up and get right into the match. As we are loading in, we'll start with on the side of UCF, and they're fighting for this camo and got it pretty early on. So going to be interested to see how they kind of take the map control with this.
That's correct. And we are following the POV of Chris on God with the Florida Knights. He is moving to C Plat. He's going to find the backs of two members of Baylor. Unfortunately, an easy perfect with the follow-up there as well. And Baylor go two dead, but no one's quite touching the ball yet, Connor. So obviously the the Central Florida Knights are just taking their time, and Baylor putting on a nice defensive hold in gold, but Bale's taking down two in gold as well. This defense isn't going to hold for long, and here comes the flank as well. That's four dead, and it looks like the Knights are going to grab ball, and we're finally going to get some points on the board.
And you know, that was such a perfect break off on the side of UCF. They got the first run as plays, they got the camo. Then notice that they waited and then they didn't go right for the ball. Then they did another round of slays. And because of that, you're gonna see them get a good amount of time here because they took that extra second. So I really gotta give UCF props on that. That was really, really good to see.
Was Monty holding strong in red pipes as well, and the flank on the other side of Long Haul isn't going to go anywhere. Beast Mode going to do what he can to channel the bees. Unfortunately for him, he runs into a shock rifle player, and a grenade and a shock up follow-up will take him down as well. Beast Mode first one dead on this attack from Baylor. Can they make a solid push? I'm not sure, because Chris on God has that powerful position in a cat on top elevator overlooking the entire map from that side. Ball is moving over towards elevator as well, and it looks like this hold from the Knights is going to continue. 50 points on the board.
I talked about it a little bit before, but I'm really loving what I'm seeing out of UCF's teamwork here. They're not really taking any of these fights one-on-one, and every time there's a gunfight, you could see that UCF is together and they're pushing stuff. And I think if you're on the side of Baylor, that's super scary, because as that time's creeping up, we're already at the 70-second mark. It's one of those, before you know it, this round's going to be over if they don't get a team push together soon.
Before you know it, Monty as well, working his way towards a 10-kill streak, working his way to try and get 15 to get a killing frenzy already on a spree. Bale's getting caught in White Tower. Does fall by J-Pog, and it looks like the rest of Baylor are finally making his push, but Monty gets another kill off in the wings, and Monty gets himself two. He is 4 kills away from getting himself a killing frenzy, 11-0 with an assist as well. Gonna turn that into another one, but I don't think this game is gonna be much longer. There's just a few more seconds left in the game, but it looks like they might be trying to get Monty his killing frenzy. He has the camo, he has the power, the tools that he needs to try and get it. There's 13, just 2 more. Can Monty get himself a killing frenzy for the stream? We're gonna stay on his POV, but he's going to touch the ball, and now Baylor knows exactly where he is, and the dream goes down. No killing frenzy for the UCF Knights.
You know, I gotta say though, I give him props for going for the ball, playing the OBJ there. Unfortunately, it didn't really work out, but you're at 99 seconds at this point. This round is practically over. And as I'm saying that, they're picking up the ball, and that's round 1 going to the side of UCF. Now, this, if you're on the side of Baylor, this has got to be a wake-up call here. I would love to see them on this round really work on pushing together. I saw a lot of solo gunfights, and with Oddball, you have that round to wake up. But now this is where it could get scary if they don't get it in check.
Now, Baylor's still a little bit new to the College Halo scene, maybe not quite used to the level of play here at College Halo. However, as 3 go down, the Knights continue on their winning spree. Bales goes across the middle of the map and survives. J-Pod couldn't quite get the last shot, but the Knights get the ball, they get time, and Baylor on the attack once again. But can they push across the middle point of the map and try and put some pressure on these Knights? The sticky grenade doesn't hit. That sticky grenade misses as well. And it's 2 more dead again, and Baylor, they're trying to flood into bottom elevator, but they all 4 go down, and the Knights stand true with the shields standing strong.
the teamwork out of UCF. I keep is just such a standout to me. And for a team who started last semester in Division 2 and they got second place, I'm really excited to watch them this season. They were in grand finals and now they're going to be playing against other teams that were in Division 1. And I think if they can keep this teamwork up and really harp on this, I think that they're going to be a scary squad to watch this semester.
Now, of course, the Knights being the favorites to win this series in quick faction, also according to chat, as they are currently looking at the over-under for the Knights getting a 3-0 sweep. But, you know, Baylor not quite out of this game just yet. However, not putting up any points at all on the objective. Only 5 seconds total, Connor. You have to wonder, is it just that hard for them to try to push across the map, as we do have Chris on God in a very powerful position overlooking this A-Cat and Fenrir and Sword. You guys gotta get out and you guys gotta run, but they get killed, unfortunately, and the Knights continue to hold strong. And the spin by Chris on God in the last, the game's not even over, and he's already trying to dance on these bodies. He's gonna stay alive as well, not even gonna pay for it, finally getting taken down by Fenrir. But, you know, the spin, that kind of tells the story of this game.
He's throwing out emotes, and it's one of those, but notice as soon as he's getting shot and he drops, his teammate kills the guy on bottom gold. You could just tell that the communication's really there. And we're at the 92-second mark, but Baylor does have ball control if they could just work together to get Bales here. And Bales is one shot, and this is a huge gunfight, and Bales wins it! And I think that's the round.
The Knights George are just too sharp, Connor, in the game. They're not even going to try to end it. Yes, they are. They're going to pick up the ball in the last few seconds, tip away. And game number 1 has already been done. 24-3. Monty just feasted that game.
I also think on the side of Baylor, I really want to see them prioritize his power-ups. I don't think that they got a single one that game 1. And that's something where it just kind of, not having camo really hurts you. I think of recharge, and I think also in Slayer, if they're not able to control the power-ups, I think it's going to be scary.
Speaking of scary, look at 3 members of the Knights on Sandbag. They are all clumped up over there, but not a single member of Baylor wants to push into that. Monty, you're a little bit overextended and finally gets taken down by Fenrir, but Chris on God gets a quick trade back. And unfortunately, Mosaics also gets this wraparound in Big Door. It takes a lot of damage, but also dishes out some punishment. But it looks like Camo is finally going to get picked up by the Knights. And Baylor, unfortunately, haven't been able to push across the map to try to contest that one bit. But it's still relatively close, 4-2. Just a couple of kills are separating these two teams. Baylor not quite out of this yet. Fenrir getting a nice little flank. Takes down one, but has to play a slide. Uses the repulse to launch himself up into the air. Finds Chris on God in mid. Takes him down as well. It is 1 kill away from tying up this game.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm liking the kind of the teamwork a little bit more out of Baylor in this round. I think you really are seeing them start to get in the same positions. But I think UCF is just running mid and getting the picks, but Fenrir is really just does not want to go down without a fight.
No, he does not. Taking down Nazaex as Nazaex finishes him off. 9-6, just 3 kills are separating these two teams. The Bears are hanging out in the back of tower, trying to figure out a push, trying to figure out where to go. But the Knights are already here. 2 members of the Knights, 3 members of Knights hanging out in this nest. And Fenrir, he's the first casualty of this drawn-out fight. But all players from the Knights are flashing. However, Baylor are also flashing as well. Bales takes one down, but Satan's sword sticks Bales in the face. Chris on God taking down Beast Mode. And here comes the chase.
And this is where I think this camo coming up in about 20 seconds, I think that this is where the Slayer can either go really heavily on the side of UCF, or I think Baylor can kind of get their way back into it. But unfortunately, the kills are falling on the side of UCF. If you're a fan of Baylor, this is not what you want to see right now. But I think luckily Baylor is spawning near this camo, so definitely interested to see. Oh no. I think Beast Mode has it? Beast Mode has it. And he instantly gets taken out. I keep bringing it up, but I just think that this UCF teamwork is they are not getting to a gunfight without their teammate nearby, and it's really just showing as UCF is really starting to take away from this lead. They're up 21-8 currently.
Every single member of the Knights are positive right now, and as Kish is trying to find a player to change to, he unfortunately spots the dead body of Baylor lying face down into dirt, and that's kind of what the Knights have been doing to Baylor so far this game, just putting them down, rubbing their noses in the dirt, in the mud, letting them know that the Knights are here to play, and unfortunately Baylor on the receiving end of a walloping. And it looks like Baylor, they're just trying to survive over in Tower. Nazaeus and Monty, a two-man wrecking crew, charging into this spot. They take down two. There's a third. The hit, no scope, hitting one. Beast Mode trying to live in Tower, gets chased down and taken down. And that's all basically a 4K for the Knights. And Baylor, they are struggling. They are trying to survive in the back. But here comes the damage again. The Knights are not even let up the pressure. Unfortunately, for Baylor, they just cannot get any position. They cannot get any foothold. The Knights just keep charging at them. They don't have any horses. They don't need them. They're wearing Spartan armor, and they're charging across the map, flying as fast as they can. Chris on God gets taken down by one, but here comes the rest of the charge, and I don't think Baylor are going to be much left for this world, and the Knights continue to slay. They continue to murder and butcher and kill and maim. It's just Fenrir and Beast Mode left, but they get taken down, and they're not done yet, already looking for more.
Yeah, I think you just see perfectly here that UCF is controlling the pace. They are not giving Baylor a second to breathe here. And I think if you're controlling the pace of the Slayer, you just see how dominant UCF is. Every time there's a Baylor spawn, they're running right at them, and it doesn't give them a chance to spawn up and get together as a team.
No, it's not. Unfortunately, all the members from Baylor are struggling. It was really nice there in the beginning. They had a little bit of a chance, but once the Knights found the go button, they just never let up on the gas. Fenrir trying to do what he can for his team, but as we keep switching Kish, he just can't find a player from Baylor to survive. J-Pog, he's the last left, but here's two members of the Knights just running at him in the screen, and he gets finally taken down. And the Knights continue. The pummeling is going to continue, Connor, until morale improves. That's what the Knights are saying this entire game. And Baylor, I don't know if morale's improving or not, but the pummeling is relentless. We do have Fenrir on a nice little flank, but the rest of his team is falling. And the Knights, they're turning around and turning their attention on him. Fenrir is just trying to do what he can to save his team, but it's not going to be enough as member after member of Baylor fall to the Knights' heavy and thunderous sword. And Fenrir getting a nice beat down on Nazaeus, but easily cleaned up by Bales. And oh man, we got two more kills left, Connor, but I don't think we're gonna need to wait much longer before the game is just over. Satan Sword trying to survive using a grenade for what it's worth, but unfortunately both Satan Sword and J-Pog get taken down, and that will be game number 2. We're one game away from closing up this series. You know, in College Halo, anything can happen. Upsets can happen from time to time, right? Even your college, who historically struggled to take a map off of the North Alabama Purple Lions, were able to at least get one map the last time that we saw them play together on stream. But enough yapping from me, Connor. We're going to get into this game, and already the Knights have continued the pummeling from game number 2. But J-Pog fighting back a little bit, and so's Fenrir over in this top red tower. Can he survive? Monty spots him over in P2, but Bales with the flank is going to seal the deal, and Baylor, once again, they find themselves staring at that death screen, now all spawning in blue. Do they have a hope? They need to get more aggressive.
Yeah, and I think I think Baylor did a really good job kind of putting that initial fight and not kind of giving them this snipe. But unfortunately, the snipe goes on the side of UCF. But right now, the hills are kind of even, and I think that this is where, if you're on the side of UCF, you're trying to get this capture, get this map control, and really just control the pace here.
Trying to, but Bales with this S7 is definitely a lethal player. 5 shots left in the chamber to play with. They do have this BC hold, but there's one. Beast Mode gets taken down. There's 2. As Satan's Sword also gets returned to the death screen. Can he get a third? He can't quite line up. He's trying to, but he does get a little help from his friend, and that will be a triple cap for the Knights.
Yeah, and I think I go back to it, but look at that teamwork. You notice Bales is in the fight. He's trying to hit the no-scope, but his teammates are already shooting at the guy Cargo, and Bales had to hit one bullet before. It is so amazing to see how this UCF squad plays, because I really think their teamwork is something to really pay attention to, and they're really just taking a hold of this triple cap. And if you're Baylor, you really have to stop this, because this triple cap, especially on this map, is super dangerous.
Yeah, 2 points for every second that passes without Baylor taking a single hill. Bales as well, 8, 3, and 0. He's the kill leader right now, the closest to getting that old Top Gun medal from Halo 5. If you've been around for a while, you know exactly what medal I'm talking about. But J-Paw getting a kill on Bales does end that reign of terror that he had for just a little bit, but beast mode, just okay. I mean, that's a way to play, you know, just jump, you know, take a little bit of a swim. Why not? Spartans get a little dirty. I doubt they shower often, but you know, you never know. But this triple cap finally maybe about to end if Baylor can just get on this hill, but unfortunately for them, it's not over just yet. 146 seconds and counting, and remember, it's times 2 points for every second with this triple cap still going.
Yeah, I think UCF, you give them an inch and they're taking a mile out of this. This is scary, because before you know it, they're going to be at the 200 point mark. And there's just not really been an answer on the side of Baylor. Every time that they're getting the map control and they're about to get the hill, all of a sudden you've got 2 members of UCF right in your face, and they don't even let you cap one.
The Knights are playing the spawn game so well, Connor. That's why they've been able to hold this triple cap for such a long time. Normally, in these kind of situations, you would be able to get at least one of the hills, but the Knights are just not letting go of the stranglehold. The game is going to be over in the next couple of seconds, and it is done, dusted, and over. And just like that, Connor, the games are over. The series is done. Baylor get taken down as the Knights go up 3-0 in this game, and also get themselves a nice little cushion in their pod before the reset.